Hey, we are Chris and Teresa and are obsessed with all things fiber and guiding you on your fiber arts journey. We own a successful fiber processing mill, an online needle felting business, experienced at raising all fiber animals, and are renovating a 100-year-old school into a fiber arts retreat center.
Processing, needle felting, yarn, roving, fiber animals, and our renovating progress are all topics discussed here. Think of this as your one-stop shop for advice, information, tips, and getting your questions answered on all things fiber, from raising the animals to the finished product and everything in between. So pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be inspired while you learn. This is EweTube.
Welcome to EweTube 108! Yay! No hand signs this time.
No.
No hand signs.
We're in the mill again because
Yay, the happy place.
this is the best lighting.
Yes, and there's a ruckus going on upstairs. Yeah. Anyway,
It's loud.
that's something else. Okay.
Oh,
So-
and I'm wearing the newest Nome Schoolhouse
And I'm wearing-
merchandise. The Looney Tunes shirts that we got at some place.
Alrighty, we're getting right into it. We have been having an awesome week. We are having a knitting retreat going on. It's unrelated to us. I mean, we're not teaching any of the classes. We are on.
There isn't any classes.
No, we are so honored to have Myrna Stallman here. She is an amazing lace knitter, has made many patterns, has written a book, and we have it here to purchase. And she is here with offering a retreat, and we have
With her knitting friends.
yeah, it's just been amazing, and we just we did some videos, so we're going to share that.
I'm Carol from Gilroy, California, and I drove out over 3 days out through this beautiful, beautiful farm country. I'm not a farm girl, although I live in an agricultural area in California. But I have been absolutely entranced by the whole experience. I was lucky enough to be invited by Myrna about 10 days before the event, and I had been looking for something to do during this time slot. And I ended up here, and it's just like, oh my God, the people, the location, the building, I love all the chandeliers, the room is very comfortable. I take walks every morning and in the afternoon around, and it takes only 20 minutes to get around the whole town. And I can't say enough, it's been the most magnificent experience. And I had this wonderful time this afternoon in the tour of the fiber area, and I was blown away by the level of skill and what it takes to make a skein of yarn. I had no idea, and all the machines and everything, and wow, things I never expected to learn. And we've had some wonderful people talking about themselves and where they're from and what they do. And we're from all walks of life here. And yet we're sitting here like friends 2 or 3 days into it. I'm just about to finish a project that's been hanging fire for years, because I can't sit still long enough to work on it. But here we can talk and knit, and I'm almost done, and it's a great feeling. We have things to learn. For instance, Myrna says she doesn't like to do seams. I can do her seams, and she can help me get started probably on my next lace project. And so we're trading skills. I don't know much else to say. It's been absolutely phenomenal out-of-body experience for me. I've never experienced anything like it, and I'm so happy to be here. And the cheerfulness that we've been greeted with is just beyond compare. It's an incredible experience. I love that barn that's out and back. I got up the first morning, and at first light I could look out my window and took a picture of the barn kind of in shadow with the sun coming up behind it, the light coming up off of the fields, and it was like, wow. And I'm sending these pictures home, and my family has never experienced anything like it, so now they're getting to experience it through me.
Well, I'm Myrna Stallman. I'm a knitter. I've been knitting since I was in 4th grade. And what I enjoy most knitting is lace knitting with yarns. And here at the Nome Schoolhouse, why, we have a wonderful fiber mill where Chris is making absolutely beautiful wool for knitting with. We've done a lot of lace knitting, and beside me here is who we are calling Aunt Alice. She is wearing a triangular shawl made with yarn that was spun here at the schoolhouse.
I'm Eloise Groth, and unlike my famous sister Myrna Stahman, who knits lace, I am knitting felted slippers.
Perfect. Okay, I'm Kathy Sletto, and this is my first retreat ever, and it's just been a great experience. Great people, great food, and I would love to do it again. My best knitting project so far is Jackie Kennedy's iconic pink suit, which I knitted for Karen, the feral cat, during the pandemic. And my husband then told me I needed to get out more, and that's why I'm at this retreat.
Their talent of each and every one of them in a different way has been,
Yeah, it's been
wow.
fun.
Wow. And one of them's from California, one of them's from Michigan, and
Minnesota.
Yeah, it's just,
And they're having fun with their, it's just a retreat where they're getting together, they're having show and tell, they're working on projects.
Their own projects, and
Which is kind of what we designed this whole
camaraderie.
place for.
Yes. So
It's kind of fun to see it all come together.
We're super excited about it. Super excited about it. So so
I'm
they're
wondering
here,
if that
and
fan is really loud.
I'm gonna turn the fan off.
So the Stahman retreat has been going on for a couple days, and they're going to stay throughout the week. And they're all in the one classroom, and they're working on their projects. They're sharing the projects. They have all their projects displayed all over the room, and it's quite lovely.
Yeah.
It's a fun room to go into. And
fun,
just
yes.
sit and visit with them on what they're working on.
Yeah, and one of the lace knitters, she's from Michigan, I believe. She knits with beadwork, and holy moly, wow, absolutely breathtaking.
Very nice.
Breathtaking, yes.
So I have
Pretty
pictures
cool.
of all of these things. And
Yes, pretty cool. Pretty cool. We had a rug hooker that was here this afternoon.
I took some pictures of her work as well.
Yep.
And the fact that this is what we designed this whole place for, and that they're enjoying it, and it's
as much as they are,
it's been really rewarding this week to listen to them, and they are enjoying the food and the space
and the wine
and the just having this
everything.
beautiful room and rooms to stay in for the week. So it's been kind of fun to listen to them. And they had a tour of the mill today, and I talked to them about my sheep and my experiences with all the different breeds of sheep, and
Yep.
yeah, it's been fun. This is what we did this for. So.
Yep.
It's fun to see it come
we're
together.
Encouraging all, gather your friends together. I mean, there doesn't need to be any formal classes. I mean, you can just come and stay.
Just come and visit and
Yeah.
work on your projects and share what you've been working on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's very, very relaxed.
Yep, pretty relaxing.
And the food is delicious.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and you got to remind me to turn that fan back on, or the pumpkin color will not be dry.
And we need pumpkin.
We need
Pumpkins are hot right now.
Pumpkins are going. Yep. It's not your face.
Oh, it's not my face, and it's not my...
Now, how'd that happen? Anyway, okay, Teresa has been cocklebur picking because here at the mill, cockleburs and fleeces
Are not welcome.
are not welcome at all. And
we learned that the hard way.
Yes.
One year, where the sheep... So there was cockleburs in this one area. It wasn't in the sheep pasture, but the sheep got out and they got into the cocklebur area, and they were covered in cockleburs, and we needed all of that fleece. We needed all of the wool for what we were selling for the year. And so we sat out every night on the deck and cut off the ends. Cut off all the cockleburs before we brought them to Chris.
Which you thought you got
When we didn't get them all because they were stuck way in
they're
there.
horrible little buggers that hide.
horrible. And we learned, that the hard way. And so how do you get rid of cockleburs in your pasture? You go pull them out. So that year, the next year, we walked through the pasture, and that's when all the kids were still home. So it was 6 of us walking in a line. And if you see a cocklebur plant, you pull it out, and we had just a big burn pile at the end where we burned them all. So the other day we were just out checking the lambs. We've weaned the lambs, and we just need to check them because they sometimes get illnesses after being weaned just because of the stress. And we were driving through the pasture. There was a whole bunch of cockleburs. So we pulled them all up, and they've already been burned. Jeff burned them the other day.
Perfect.
Can't have any of them in the pasture.
Naughty things. Ugh.
Very, very important.
Ugh. Yes. Yep.
That was a highlight of my week.
Good. And
It's not really a highlight.
It's not really a highlight. My big grandbaby, Sophia, has been in the hospital. They brought her into the emergency room Friday evening, and she was admitted for RSV, and bronchitis and an ear infection. But the RSV, I guess, is really hitting 5 and under year olds hard this year. And this is like way earlier than what it should be. And so the poor little thing has been on oxygen, and
she's been in the hospital since
she has IV,
Friday,
and they're hoping that she can get out on Saturday. So
which would be the day that this is airing.
Yeah. So that would be 8 days.
I hope
that
so.
The poor little thing has
She
been
looks
in.
better. The first picture that Chris sent me was so sad because Sophia is always happy.
Yes. She's always so smiley and so mobile.
And she was so sad in the picture. But the last video we got from Katie was her.
Yeah, moving, trying to crawl in.
It's like she's gotten used to all the IVs in her arm and the oxygen in her nose, and she's just gonna deal with it and play.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Katie because she has to hold her she holds her all the time because when they lay her flat, then her oxygen drops too much. So she's been up there the whole time holding her. So anyway, by this time we're praying she is going to be home and all better. So that's good. Yeah, and we have been busy just marveling at everybody's comments and questions at YouTube, and we're just
all the comments. So last YouTube
gosh.
we asked, what do you like about what we're doing on YouTube? What do you want to see more of? We got so many amazing questions, amazing comments,
questions, everything. We just, we got so many.
And it's really good for us.
We're going to have to break this up, because there's some things that we want to spend a little more time on. So,
and it's good to know the reason we started the whole YouTube is what everybody's interested in.
Yes.
We were worried that now that the construction of the school was done, that we, wouldn't have as much interest. But it's nice to know that's what you're here for.
It's very good. Yep.
And it encourages us, so we will be making sure all of your questions get answered over the next year.
Yeah, we don't want this YouTube to be 2 hours long. But we certainly want to share some of the comments that the gals that are here on the retreat have shared and whatnot. And then next week we'll go a little. We have some demos we want to do.
And we're very thankful for the comments because it gives us ideas on what we need
we need to go.
What we need to do.
You bet.
What you guys are interested in.
Yeah. What do you got here? 2 years ago, shoring up the school. Last year, pillar piece. Oh my goodness! 2 years ago, they were shoring up the inside of the school.
2 years ago at this time.
Wow.
That's when nothing was happening forever and ever, and we were so excited when we came, and they had put interior.
2x6 walls everywhere
within the school because they needed to do that to replace the roof. And that was the first time we had seen really anything other than the starting of working on the gym, which was taking forever.
So that was exciting.
I remember coming and smelling the fresh cut wood and it felt like construction, and we were so excited.
Yes. It was like, wait.
It wasn't the prettiest.
No.
Kind of took away from all of the things that we loved, but
That's okay. It was, made them be able to remove the entire roof and replace rafters and all. So that
and
was
held
pretty
everything securely.
cool. Yep. Pretty cool. Last year, pillar piers, are those
Yes.
the things that held up the side of the school?
No, the pillar piers were what they had to put into the ground underneath the school. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And
To add extra support.
because to make sure that the school was well supported, and those went in last year at this time, which was an exciting part of our
Awesome.
progress at that time.
Yes. Okay, here, you talk about our project feature. I'm going to go grab it.
A product feature is I was asked by the Livestock Conservancy to teach people in the Shave 'em to Save 'em how to needle felt. There's been a lot of interest there, and so it's the end of this month. I will be doing 2 online, it's live streamed courses on how to make these needle felted sheep.
Oh, this wool is
And
beautiful.
if you're not familiar with the Livestock Conservancy or the Shave 'em to Save 'em, what they are doing is trying to save the breeds of sheep that are in danger of not being around anymore, and they want to encourage people to raise these sheep, and so they want people to purchase the wool, and that is the Shave 'em to Save 'em. So you shave them, people buy the wool to make things, and that is what we're trying to do with this. It's a needle felting challenge on the Shave 'em to Save 'em, and I am honored to be teaching this needle felting class
It's beautiful.
for
wool.
all of the Shave 'em to Save 'em challenge doers.
Yes,
And
the Shave 'em to Save 'em program is amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. Yep.
And so we're using CVM wool because that is one of the breeds on the Shave 'em to Save 'em list.
As well as
and
Wesley.
Teeswater.
Teeswater. That one's the deal. Teeswater.
And so that's what we're using. These are kits are available through us after you sign up for the Shave 'em to Save 'em challenge.
Pretty.
And there you have a choice of the white one or the it's a brownish grayish one.
No, I think the Teeswater locks are a little
They're amazing.
tinier. Yeah.
Then what?
Than the Wesleydale.
I like them.
Smaller. Beautiful.
So
kits.
if you want to get involved, there's a link below, and you can join the Shave 'em to Save 'em challenge, needle felting challenge that I will be teaching.
Super fun.
And you can buy the kits through us because we raise CVM.
Yep. Absolutely.
So it's our own CVM. We do purchase the Teeswater.
Yes.
We have
Not
found the
currently have
most
Teeswater. Yep.
amazing source.
Absolutely. All right, and we have pics of the food from our special meal.
We do. So we had on
Last Friday
Last Friday, Libby made a 4-course meal.
was some type of a pretty veggie thing that looked like a flower, and this pork that was so tender. I don't know how it was even possible that it
There
could
was
be
some
that
honey
tender.
glazed. I guess we should have read through
Delicious. And then
through the menu,
the
but we
dessert
didn't.
was some blueberry lemon mousse pie thing that was.
Everybody loved it.
It was
They wanted to come
wonderful.
back.
Yes.
It was a fun
great
evening.
fun.
There was Jordan Blodgett was playing the violin for
Yep.
the music.
And we actually had air conditioning this one, so we didn't have these great big giant fans going, so you could actually hear Jordan
each other
playing.
talk.
Yeah.
It was nice.
So it was really nice. And we had quite a few of the guests stayed overnight and made an overnight David.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Today, Mike Peterson and Steve Armbrust, my husband, hung the scoreboard. Finally. And wired it and hooked it up, and it looks amazing.
Yes.
Insert picture.
Yeah, we're very happy about that.
Yes. Okay, let's get into these questions.
We got so many wonderful questions.
So many wonderful questions that we're going to go through them, but there's some that we're going to wait to answer till
In
next week,
video
'cause- Yeah, because we
form.
want to do some demos.
Some of them would be best answered with a video.
Yep. All right. After you hand spin, how do you apply the singles together to make your yarn? That we're going to demonstrate.
Yeah. I don't know if we could do it justice trying to explain it.
We're going to demonstrate it.
There's a way of plying it, and then there's Navajo plying, which I love, anyway, yeah. Wait for the video.
Coming next week. All right, do you all have to irrigate your fields at all, or do you completely depend on the rain? Oh,
Some of us completely depend on the rain.
I don't know anyone that irrigates their fields.
Not
their
around
fields.
you, but around us.
Yeah,
There's
around
lots
their
of
Fort
irrigation.
Ransom, yeah.
But we
is
don't
true.
have irrigation, so we are greatly dependent. And I don't know anybody that irrigates their pasture.
No.
But their fields.
And it was getting very dire. We were very concerned about having enough hay. Not just us, all ranchers, producers of all animals.
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, but
We have
were
rain.
blessed.
It's been raining.
So,
It continues to rain.
It's been very good.
Beautiful now.
Yes. If I crossed a Teeswater ram with my Finch sheep, what is the likelihood of getting curly wool?
We don't have scientific data, but we do have. So I have crossed BFL. I've crossed Wensleydale with Romney, and she had twins. And one of the lambs is more Romney fleece, and one of them is more Wensleydale. So one of them is completely curly, and one of them is not at all. It looks like a Romney.
Is that something?
It is amazing. So it's really hard to say. I don't know like the percentage or what you can expect, but it's really fun to play around with and see.
Yes.
And sometimes you get, like a combination, but it seems like it usually goes either one way or the other. There isn't like a combination, especially with the curly wools.
So it could go both ways with your Finch sheep.
It would be fun to try.
It would be, a beautiful, beautiful blend nonetheless.
Yeah.
It really would. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a waste.
Not at all. Okay, do any of your customers at the mill raise Angora rabbits? We do. Could you talk about how their fur is harvested? Are there challenges in spinning with Angora? Okay, first of all, next week I'm bringing Smudge. And we're
The
gonna
Angora rabbit.
The Angora rabbit, because he does need a trim right now. So we're gonna bring him here. We're gonna have him right here, and we're gonna demonstrate how I give him a haircut about 4 or 5 times a year.
And I've tried to hand spin with straight Angora, and it's hard.
It is hard. It's very fine.
It's not very
fine.
long. It's not as long as what I'm
Yeah.
used to with wool. So
And
blending it
slippery
with wool is a lot easier, but I did not enjoy it. But this was years ago when I was just starting, so maybe I would be better at it now. I know that we have an artist here today at the school that there's things going on upstairs. I don't know. Anyway, running.
Yes. What are they? 5?
She spins straight Angora.
And she has many, many skeins of it upstairs.
And it's
absolutely
Kathy.
Gorgeous.
Kathy Sletto.
Sletto. Yep. And she is a customer of ours at the mill here. And we don't spin her Angora because she hand spins all that herself. But we spin her wool.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Shetland.
Beautiful Shetland. Probably some of the most beautiful Shetland I've seen.
But she has hand spun. There's a bunch of yarn upstairs, which
Yes.
I probably could show a
Gorgeous.
picture of.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
And it is beautiful, and it's straight Angora. And then she has knit mittens and stocking caps out of the
Absolutely
straight
beautiful.
Angora. And Angora is very, very warm, and it's very, very
Super
soft.
warm.
So
Very, very
yeah,
nice.
but I know I tried it years ago. My aunt raises Angora rabbits, and she gave me a bunch. Or else Libby had an Angora rabbit too, and I used some of that, and it was really hard.
Yeah, and her aunt Linda, who's my friend, she Not that she's an ear friend too. Anyway, she is one that would do demonstrations where she would take the bunny and set it on her lap and just spin right from the bunny.
She would just like
Yes,
pull the
just
loose.
pluck and just spin it right into the spinning wheel. Amazing. And when you, like my rabbits, I've always given them haircuts. And Linda's always, it's called plucking, combing and kind of harvesting it when they naturally start releasing their fiber. And it's with mine, I've noticed that I've always, given them haircuts. They don't release like if you are a complete plucker and all you do is pluck the fiber, then it's like, it's almost like you train their fiber to be as such. So
Wow.
I will show you simply because I never had time to groom them daily, to groom them weekly. I just didn't have time. So consequence of that is I would get matting under the chin, and along the sides, where they bounce around. So that I basically lost that fiber because that would mat, and we just cut it off and not use it. But yeah, so we are going to demonstrate. We're with Dear Smudge. We are going to demonstrate
Good.
how I do that. Yeah,
That'll
that'll
be
be kind of fun. Yep.
So look forward to that, and if we
Yes.
forget, remind us.
Yes, and also in challenges of spinning with Angora, with for the mill for the commercial carder and the spinning system that we have here, I don't like to do more than 30%, 40% at best, and simply because I have a hard time because so much of the Angora flies off the carder, and I'm not allergic to it, but it makes my eyes water, and it's just really hard, and it gets all over everything in the mill, and I don't know, 30% blend with Angora with Romney is amazing. It just halos. It's absolutely beautiful. You blend that with a fine wool like Cormo or Merino or Targhee, something like it's even more amazing. So I don't. That's my opinion on that. Why do you choose the breeds you have? Can we see the differences in their wools?
You sure can.
And that's for another day.
Yes, we will have to share all the differences.
I
And
think
how
we
did
should
I
show-
choose
yeah.
them? I chose Romney. I chose them because at the time I knew I didn't want to meat sheep. I wanted a smaller breed that the kids could show at the fair. And I wanted something that could be used for wool products. I wanted a sheep for their wool mainly. And I found locally a person that raised Romney, and they fit all of those needs, and that's how I got started with them. And then I was interested in getting more curly types of wool, and that's where the BFL came in, and that's where the Wensleydale came in. And Cormo came into the picture because we wanted more of a yarn, a softer wool for yarn, and that's when Chris and I went to Montana and came up with this whole
started
plan.
this whole crazy idea.
And that's where Cormo came in, and then Corriedale came in because we know somebody who has amazing Corriedales, and I had felted with Corriedale before and I liked it. And she had a bunch of sheep that we could purchase, and we really need to grow our flock because we need a lot of wool to keep up with the demand of what we're selling. So,
And Cordale is a perfect blending.
and I have crossed all of these to
Yep.
try and get an even better needle felting wool. And it's been kinda
Always
fun.
working to improve.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Always. Yep. That is cool. Yes, so next week, if it's next week, maybe even the week after, we'll show you pictures of the different breeds that you have, and then close-ups of their wool.
Yes.
What it looks like off the sheep, too.
And again, if we forget, remind us.
Yes.
Because sometimes we go back and watch old YouTubes like
Go,
from
oh, great Scott,
a
we
year
forgot
ago,
that.
and it's
Yes.
like, what did we just promise?
My
we have
land.
never done that.
Yes. Anyway, okay. How would you get fleece of a breed you want to try? How would you get fleece of a breed you want to? You could source it directly if you wanted to buy one fleece from a producer. I would recommend Etsy, eBay,
Etsy, there's many
yes.
groups on Facebook where they're selling fleeces.
Even
It's-
going to a local fiber festival
Yeah.
of some type.
That is the best way, actually, because then you get to see
touch it
and you know
see
you
it.
like it. But we really enjoy Etsy and these Facebook groups where they're selling their fiber. Every time they share that they have some available.
And you can, seek out Cordale, or you can seek out whatever breed it is you're specifically looking for.
Right now, we can't sell entire fleeces. We're using all of our wool, and we're having to purchase more. So we're not selling fleeces at this time. Hopefully, someday. We will be able to provide that.
Absolutely. Here's a question. How much raw fleece do you need to make yarn for a sweater? Boy, oh boy, that is a toughie, because it depends on your sweater pattern. It depends if you're knitting on size 2 needles or size 8. I mean, there's so much depending
so
on that
many
question. And
variables.
what's your pattern? Are you making a cute little bolero sweater? Are you making a floor length sweater? I mean, there's so much.
And the wool, all the wool is different.
Yes.
So how it will,
Yeah.
how much yarn.
So, an average sweater, what do you think? 10 skeins of 200 yards? What do you think?
I have never made a sweater.
Me neither.
Somebody will have to tell us.
Yeah.
How many skeins, how many yards?
Yeah.
And then maybe we could answer that a little easier.
Yeah, how much raw fleece. So I'm guessing if you take an average raw fleece, an average, let's say it's 10, 12 pounds for an average, you got to figure in at least 30% loss of lanolin, monkey picking, skirting, and whatnot. It brings you down to 8 pounds or so. And then you've got an average skein, 2-3 ounces, something like that. You can figure backwards that way. 16 ounces is a pound, but it really depends on the pattern. Yeah, and good grief, you could have a Jacob fleece that weighs 4 pounds, or a Coopworth fleece that weighs 24 pounds. Depends greatly on the breed too. So many variables. Yeah, and that's what makes it so fun.
I know. There's
Love it.
so many different.
Love it, love it, love it. Yes. Okay. How does the spinning wheel and you rotate the wool to spin it? It isn't going around the big wheel. Is it? It isn't going around the big. It is not going around the big wheel.
And it is kind of confusing watching it. And
Absolutely.
we've done many demonstrations where people are so confused as how this is working.
Yeah, they look and they like.
The wheel
how
is
it
actually
working?
turning the bobbin, which
you're
and
pedaling either 1 treadle or 2 treadle.
yes, and your fingers are controlling.
The draft.
Yeah,
How thick of yarn you're spinning.
and it is spinning it. Your feet.
Yeah, it's spinning that little flyer head, or yeah. And it's like riding a bike. When you pedal your bike, the wheels turn.
So it is that's turning and it's spinning the wool, and you're allowing so much wool to go past your fingers and spin, and you're allowing for how much time passes to so the thicknesses of
Absolutely.
the yarn. I don't know if we explained it very well, but we'll have to show you, and that's another upcoming video. And Chris is on her phone again, texting.
Sorry. Somebody's looking for some business cards.
And she says, the store.
I meant in.
That makes sense.
In the store. There. We got it. Now, back to... Okay.
There's stuff going on upstairs.
There is. All right. You are going to be having people try different spinning wheels for the taste of fiber, correct?
We are.
How would that help me decide which type of spinning wheel to buy? Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Immensely.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I never got that opportunity.
Me neither. I just went and bought a used spinning wheel,
Yeah.
and that's what I learned on.
We were actually given a spinning wheel by wonderful people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, can you imagine going around and trying 8 to 10 different
we just
wheels?
used the one we got.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
And, since then I have gotten to try a few, and they all spin differently.
They truly do.
And there is probably the perfect one for you. So
I mean, there's ones that
This
you
is
just
the
use
perfect
1 foot.
opportunity.
There's one you use 2 foot. There's some you sit off to the side. Some you sit right in front.
And some, if you're short like me, there's some that are too high, where it's feeding in, like you're holding it like this, and then there's some that are just your right height. There's many
Many variables.
different variables, and this is the perfect way to
yeah,
figure
it's
it
gonna
out.
be awesome.
What you want.
Absolutely awesome. And on that same note, should I start with a drop spindle? That's how I was taught, with the drop spindle, and I don't get along with a drop spindle. I mean, I wish I did, because it's so mobile.
Neither one of us use a drop spindle now. We found that frustrating.
But
and
I took to the wheel very, very, very well.
I mean, that it was frustrating at first on the wheel as well, but at least you saw some progress. Where with the drop spindle, I was like so frustrated. It's like, I don't know if I would have continued. Where some people love it. It just depends on the person.
And sold their wheels to just drop spindle. Yeah.
So it just depends on the person. I mean, I wouldn't not try it, but don't let that be your deciding factor if you like spinning.
For example, Jeannie and Julie, who will be teaching the spinning end of our Taste of Fiber retreat, they have an amazing way of teaching spinning, of teaching. They start with a paper clip and just to show you how it works
they make it
make sense. They make it understandable in a way that you get the logistics.
And they are the teachers at the Taste of Fiber. And
amazing. Julie
is the one that taught me how to spin. She's the one that taught me how to Navajo ply. Has taught me a lot. She's an amazing teacher.
Amazing. Yeah, anyone coming will be just blessed. It's amazing. Yes, so making felted animals. How do you get the colors of wool right? Ha! That's a good
struggle.
Question. It's a struggle. Let me show you something. Stay right here. Don't move.
So dyeing the different colors. So I'll decide what color I want, and it may take many different batches of dye to get the right color.
That's how we came up with this little product right here, because these are little batches. Because we have a recipe that it's this much of this much of that to get this color, but sometimes for some reason it just doesn't work out.
It doesn't turn out, and all the variables in that is the different fiber. Like a different fleece can be a Romney, but if it's from a different sheep, it doesn't dye the same.
Go figure. So we came up with, we had a bunch. We were just getting all these batches that were kind of batches and not batches that we wanted to carry. You know, the color on the website that we just decided to put together little grab bags, and they're beautiful fiber. It's Romney, gorgeous, but just not colors. So it's your own.
So we have.
So they're reduced price and they're beautiful. And
we have certain colors. In here. You do. We have certain colors that we always have on hand for all the kits, and we try and keep them as close to the kit color as possible. But sometimes it's hard to get that exact color, and these are the mistakes. But they're beautiful.
So it is a challenge. It's a constant challenge to get that perfect color. Usually we get it. Yeah.
Black is hard.
Green is hard. Greens are hard. Pumpkin is probably one of the easiest. We get that one. I can even do that in the grease, which is pretty cool. Greens and that black. Black
has always been a struggle, and we need a lot of it. So.
And that's all the questions we had. So, on to what?
I don't know. What does it say?
Oh, you know, one thing we forgot to mention. Last weekend, we had really special visitors she was Connie Windjam.
Why didn't we mention? Isn't that on here?
Peter Eckerstrom. Anyway, they visited, and we were so honored to have them stay in the school. And she graduated all 12. She graduated from the school. She went to all 12 grades.
In 54, I think.
That's right.
And her two sons came with her.
Until when they went up to saw her dad's.
So the theater that we own in town, which we've shared a lot about, their dad used to run the projector, and he was in a wheelchair. He'd had a stroke, and so they would bring him up there, and he made his own wheelchair to fit right in between the two cameras, and the wheelchair is still up there. All of the camera equipment, everything is still up there, and so it was really fun to bring them up there.
And for her to see that.
And
just can't imagine.
She's seen it, but then her sons were so excited. It was so fun to see it. And they went and they sat in the chair that their grandfather made, and they sat in the chair and they took pictures around the chair. It was really fun. And they thought the theater had burnt down, so they were very excited when I said it's still there and all of the stuff is still in there and you can go see it, all of it. And
it was
they were
pretty
excited.
cool.
It was really fun.
Cool.
They said, they could go over there. They didn't want to bother me, take up my time. And I said, I want to see this. I want to be a part of it.
Oh my
So it was
goodness,
fun.
what an honor. Yeah.
And then they got to visit with Randy, our historian.
Our historian.
He came over and visited with them, and they met cousins that they'd never met before, second cousins.
Randy's amazing.
He
is just so
told them
amazing.
about these cousins and where they
Yes.
were, and they met up the next day. It was kind of a fun
All amazing.
thing.
All amazing.
Yeah, they were from Arizona, and
That was
hopefully
pretty
they come
cool.
back with Connie.
Yes. We're going to get Connie here. Connie, we're getting you here.
Yes.
We have to come and get you ourselves. Yes.
We might.
Yeah, we might. All right. Anywho, the question from last week: in what episode was the Finnish Nana, the elephant, revealed? And the episode was number 36. And Shannon, you are the winner. You did not know the exact episode,
Where it was introduced.
but your description was so good and so well done.
And the fact that you were an
Academy.
Academy member when
Yes.
I made her, and that you were a part of the course
neat.
of making the elephant, was pretty amazing.
amazing.
Even if you didn't get it exactly right.
Yes. Very amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so do your deal about what she's to do.
Oh, yes. You probably know because I think you've even won before.
Yes.
So you need to go to bearcreekfelting.com or nomeschoolhouse.com and fill out the little form on the contact page, and we will send you your prize.
And next week's question is, we have, I think, gone through this quite a bit, and we even are going to do a demo on it next week. Tell us.
Don't believe next week. We'll try and do it next week.
Maybe.
Amongst all these other things we were going to
Tell
try and
us the
do.
story of our felting machine. How did we come to have this felting machine?
It's an interesting story.
Interesting story. It's pretty cool.
And it's what brought us together as a partnership,
Yeah.
which is
Da, da,
amazing.
da. So cool. All right. And we are open Thursdays, 5 to 9. We are open Tuesdays,
Every Thursday,
9 to 5. And we are open Saturdays, 12 to
9 to
noon.
12.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Felted Hat Retreat is the
quite-
next retreat. What?
It's quite upstairs.
It's quite lovely. September 24th through 26th. There are still some openings, and that is going to be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Basket Weaving Retreat, October 2nd and 3rd.
Which we didn't share.
We
So,
had a basket class here.
Marcy
that
had
was awesome.
a basket weaving on Saturday.
Yes.
And everybody enjoyed it. They had so much
was
fun.
awesome.
It was an all-day retreat. Libby made them their meals and made them snacks. And they had so much fun. They were down in Clink's room.
Yes.
And they
And the
made
retreat.
amazing baskets.
And the
retreat is
if you
coming
want
up.
to come, stay at the school and make, 3 baskets or whatever it is. Oh
And
my
enjoy
goodness.
Libby's food and just hanging out here at the
Get
school.
out
It's
and
beautiful.
relax. Yes.
You will love it. That's what
Basket
they're
Retreat,
they're
October
telling us
2nd.
upstairs right now.
Yep, October 2nd and 3rd. Then we've got Painting with Wool, which is going to be amazing. That is flat.
So she does needle felting like me, but she does a flat. It's painting, so you're making like a landscape
Picture,
picture. You're not making a 3D sculpture. And
October
that she does an
23rd
amazing
and
job.
24th. And then the Taste of Fiber retreat, November 5th through the 7th that we talked
Which will
about.
give you an introduction into all the fiber arts
Couple.
from our favorite teachers.
I think it's filling up. That one I think is we're taking a small number in that one.
Yeah.
There's a couple spots left there. So if you're thinking about it, I would kind of act on that one. And then finally the long awaited needle felting retreat with Teresa Perleyberg herself making a cornucopia, which I'm so excited.
Yes.
Hardly
And
wait
it's
to do
all
this.
inclusive.
Yes.
So
Priced
you-
with the room, everything.
You will get everything. All your meals, your room, and the classes, all your
$735.
supplies for just one price. Everything is included. We will even come pick you up at the airport. And you can come.
$735. It's a bargain.
We will give you a tour of the mill. You'll get to experience everything that we're doing here at the Nome Schoolhouse. Chris and I will be spending the entire weekend here. We'll stay here and we'll visit with you. We'll be a part of every part of the retreat. You will make a cornucopia, which is wonderful for beginners, but you can take it as far as you want to. So you can make these things that you're putting in your cornucopia as amazing as you want to, and I will be there to help you.
Oh, it's going to be cool. Cool. Yeah. And that is November 19th through the 20th. My daughter's birthday is November 19th. So, yeah. So, there we have it. Oh, awesome week. Awesome.
This is an awesome YouTube. We love all these questions.
Yes. Amongst our wolves.
Yes.
So
thank you. And we enjoyed this beautiful retreat that Myrna put together.
Yes, God
and
bless
sharing
her.
it with you, and we hope to do many, many more.
Absolutely. And at that note, that's all, folks.
This is Charlotte's Web. Spiders are spinners, and knitters love the lace, and they love lace made by spiders. I happened to be at the home of the founder of the Lacey Knitters Guild a few years ago, and I was helping her get her home ready for lace knitters to come, and I said, Gracie, there's a spider web up there in your kitchen. Do you have a broom? And she looked at me and said, you can't take that down, that's lace. We have to leave it there. But anyway, so this is Charlotte's Web, and I really love the story of Charlotte's Web because Charlotte was a very kind individual and had lots of very pithy sayings about this. And Charlotte knew that she was going to die, but before she died, she made sure that she had many, many eggs laid. And some of them went home with Wilbur the pig so that her children could keep Wilbur company. And I look at this like dealing with the knitting community. We have many, many knitters who have great designers, and too many of them have already passed away. But when I look at what they have done for us, we have very many memories because they have taught all of us so many things, and we can just keep on enjoying what we have been taught by those people.